Usa ka pagtuo, usa ka tingog, usa ka katawhan. Cebu Catholic Television Network.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat at welcome to New Start, ang OzoneMed Health and Wellness Talk Season 4. I'm your host Deb at ngayon we have a very powerful episode lined up para sa inyo. Kung first time po ninyong manood, welcome to the family at kung balik manonood po kayo, salamat po sa inyong tiwala. Before anything else, please follow us on our social media para lagi po kayong updated sa aming latest episodes, health tips at wellness content. At kung gusto niyo po ng personal na maranasan ng OzoneMed Wellness Care, bisitahin niyo po ang aming mga clinic branches na malapit sa inyo para simulan ang inyong wellness journey. Okay, let's get this episode started. Mga taga Visayas at Mindanao at kayong mga nanonood via online, maayong adlaw.
Kini nga programa dili lang para sa may sakit, hasta nasabda to mga walay sakit ug dili pod gusto nga makasakit. Dili lang po ni sa mga naay edad ha kamo mga batanon nga nagtan-aw karon, amo ni giandam ninyo nga programa para makakuha mo og pagtulunan nga angay gyud ninyo ibahagi o inyong i-share sa inyong mga kapamilya.
Well, in fact, there are other people, after they retire, they lost their sense of purpose and that's the time that nag-deteriorate talaga yung life nila.
Minsan nami-misdiagnose, ovarian pala yun, pero ang presentation parang appendicitis. No?
Itong mga degenerative disease is not just one cause. Multifactorial yan. Ibig sabihin, marami naglalaro kung bakit nagkaroon ka ng mga ganong sakit.
Sinasabing degenerative diseases, kadalasan ani iniisip ng mga tao no nga kaliwat ninyo kana arthritis, kaliwat nga naay rheuma dok. Pero unsa ba gyud ka big, unsa ba kalawak ang ibig sabihin nitong degenerative diseases?
Ito po ang programa na hatid sa inyo ng OzoneMed Wellness Clinic kung saan ibabahagi ng mga doktor ang kanilang kaalamang medikal tungkol sa inyong kalusugan.
In our age today, it is very important that we have to really value yung aging process na to. No? At the end of the day, talaga masasabi mo that you are fulfilled.
While we still have that options, we choose healthy food.
Mas mabuting alam natin yung mga gibati natin. Alam natin kung paano natin sila aatakihin. Huwag nating hayaan na nandun na tayo sa punto na wala nang balikan yung sakit ninyo o yung kondisyon ninyo.
Sa New Start, we believe na ang pinakamalakas na patunay ng healing ay ang mga boses ng taong nakakaranas nito mismo.
Tinignan ng OB, sabi niya, cervical cancer daw. Inisip ko, ang Panginoon, hindi naman ako pababayaan. Di ba sabi niya, by His stripes, I am healed.
Sabi niya, if I were you man, patanggal mo breast mo. So, nung nasabi ko yung balita, umiyak sila kasi sabi ko cancer, stage 1, umiyak na.
Ako po si Deborah.
Ako si Jeray ug kamo nagtanaw sa New Start OzoneMed Health and Wellness Talk Season 4.
Ang topic po natin ngayon ay isa sa pinaka-importanting topic na kailangan marinig ng bawat Pilipino, and due to audience request, we are talking about globalization, how to stay healthy in a modern world, Part 2. Mga sakit na dahan-dahan pero tiyak na kumukuha ng ating kalidad ng buhay at madalas hindi natin napapansin. Pero ang maganda pong balita, may pag-asa at nandito kami para ibahagi po iyon sa inyo ngayon. Para gabayan po kayo sa topic na ito, kasama po natin ang dalawang espesyal na bisita, si Kuya Juray with Doc Pao, ang ating physician in charge sa Bacolod branch. Welcome Doc Pao and Sir Juray.
Maayong adlaw kaninyong tanan ug daghang salamat nga inyong giubanan ani nga bag-ong episode dinhi sa New Start OzoneMed Health and Wellness Talk. Kay bao ko nga daghan kay mo mga nakatunan sa previous episode about globalization on how to stay healthy in this modern world. And because daghan mo nga nag-suggest amo nga i-expound or another top episode pa about this globalization, syempre mahal na mo pinangga mo namo mamong ihatag ninyo ang among another episode parang kadugtong sa among topic with Dr. Pao. So karon kuyog na ko ang pinaka batanon pinaka-uptake o syempre matatawag na to isa sa mga experts when it comes to lifestyle medicine. Kauban ako karon ang atong physician in charge dinhi sa Ozone Med Bacolod, syempre ang atong pinakabuutan nga doktor, Dr. Pao. Doc, maayong adlaw, and would you like to greet our friends?
Mayang adlaw sa mga viewers karon nga buntag, hapon or gabi, wherever you are.
Yan, Doc. Yung unang episode nato, Doc, about this globalization na napanood na nila previously. Talang daghang kay nangutan na, Doc, daghang kay nag-share sa atuan na pwede ba nga another topic or another continuation of the topic. So, we have this special episode din na we discuss still about globalization on how to stay healthy in the modern world. So, na-mention na nato, Dok, yung mga sakit ng mga seafarer, yung mga seaman, na-mention din nato, Dok, yung obesity. Sinabi ni Dok na anhin mo pag zero yung health mo, zero din yung wealth mo kasi mauubos din. So, may equation din siyang tinuro sa atin. Today, continuation, Dok. Magpadayon nato ang atong topic, Dok. Let's talk about non-communicable diseases. Ano po ba ito, Dok? Mas mataas daw ang non-communicable diseases, Doc, sa mga low and middle income countries. Siguro kasama tayo sa Philippines, Doc, no? Bakit, Doc?
Definitely, we are in a developing country. Ang Philippines ay developing country, and in fact, dati sinasabi nila na ang heart attack or yung cancer ay mga sakit ng mayaman. Actually, hindi. Nobody is exempted. And just a fast fact, pag sinabi natin na non-communicable, hindi yan mahawa. Hindi yan mahawa. And every 2 seconds, a person dies prematurely from NCD or non-communicable diseases. And actually, 85% of this are occurring in low-income and middle-income countries. These are your cancer, high blood, diabetes, hindi yan communicable.
Ibig sabihin, Doc,
Stroke, hindi yan communicable.
Mahawa ka na dyan.
Hindi
kung meron
ka
siyang,
mahawa.
hindi. Okay. Si Doc kasi matagal na rin tong doktor so matagal na rin siya sa lifestyle medicine. Doc, ano yung pinaka-common kaya mga non-communicable na common din na nangyayari sa mga low-income Filipinos dito sa especially din sa Bacolod, Doc? Isa ba dito talaga yung hypertension, Doc? No? Mapamayaman o mahirap, may hypertension.
It has never changed. The top killer is really heart disease. Whether lalaki ka or babae, heart disease pa rin. Kung minsan, I ask my audience sa mga talks ko, what do you think is the top killer sa mga kababaihan? Akala nila breast cancer, pero hindi. Heart disease pa rin. And oftentimes, kasi yung mga kababaihan, yung simptoma ng heart disease, hindi karaniwan. Kung minsan sabihin nila, sumasakit lang yung kuwan ko, yung shoulder ko, or siguro nangangayat lang ako sa sobrang laba, no? Sa sobrang trabaho sa bahay. Or kung minsan sabihin nila, sikmura lang.
Hyperacidity lang.
Yun pala, cardiac na pala.
So symptoms din po pala yun,
Symptom
Doc?
din yun ng cardiac disease. We really need to take good care of our heart because it is the wellspring of life. Take good care of our heart.
Okay. So, ayan, no? Heart problem yung ano. Pero, Doc, dito sa clinic kasi natin, we have 10 branches na po, no? Marami din tayong mga sakit, Doc, sa mga pasyente, Doc, na yung CKD, yung chronic kidney disease. So, common na rin po ba siya, Doc, sa mga low-income families, Doc? Anong cause nito, Doc?
Ang kidneys are one of the organs that have very small blood vessels. So kung high blood ka, taas yung pressure, and taas din yung pressure sa kidney, masisira yung kidney or naging ischemic din yung kidney. And sometimes when you have hypertension and you are diabetic, you take those kind of medications that harms the kidneys also. And therefore, si hypertension tsaka diabetes, they are like cousins or they are good friends. Palagi sila magkasama.
Partner sila in
Partner
life.
sila. So whether you are diabetic, pwede din tinatawag na diabetic nephropathy. Pwede din na kidney failure. Kaya dumadami yung mga nagda-dialysis. Before, when we say that nagda-dialysis, parang big deal na yun. Pero left and right,
Yes, karon. Actually, may mga bata tayo ng mga
May mga
nagda-dialysis, Dok, no? As in, we're talking about below 18 na nagda-dialysis na pala. So, lumalaki na. So, ang napapansin ko lang din dito, Dok, kasi usually kasi sumasama din ako sa yung mga pumupunta mga mission, medical missions, no? So, makikita mo talaga na itong pinag-usapan natin na low-income families, mas marami sa kanila yung mga ganitong sakit, high blood. Siguro, Dok, sa lifestyle, siguro sa food nila. Like, for example, kasi yung mga lugar na yan, makikita mo, maraming manginginom. May mga ganun, Dok, no? Marami din, especially sa mga probinsya, Dok, na maalat bitaw ka ng mga buwad. Mga tuyo-tuyo yung mga kinakain. Buwad. Tapos meron din mga probinsya kasi Philippines, Dok, is mga delicacies natin sobrang tamis. So, hindi naman siguro yan, kung sinasabi na mga dato lang ang mukhaon, kita po mga middle income na families, no, parang normal na yung mga kumain ng bulad. Ginamos, alam mo yung ginamos, Dok? Yung bagoong. Oo. So, these factors ba sa kanila, Dok, na nanonood sa atin ngayon, these factors ba dapat bantayan nila to? Is itong mga pagkain ito dapat nilang bantayan?
Bantayan, Jude.
Jude good.
You know, when I was young, even as a medical student ako, or I was in training for cardiology, no, I still eat those ultra-processed food. Yung pinakabilis is really noodles, ramen,
cup noodles.
Nissin ramen. Tapos sabi ko, sige, dagdagan ko ng vegetables para healthy, dagdagan ko ng itlog para healthy. Pero yung noodles mismo is ultra-processed. And because it's ultra-processed, causes inflammation sa gut lining. So, pag inflame, leaky gut,
sakit na naman.
And do you know that ang noodles natin contain at least 2,000 milligram of salt?
Ganun kadami, Dok?
Ganun kadami. Yung instant noodles, talagang ganyan lang na ganyan yung tiyan, hindi talaga na-digest for how many hours. So because it is made in a process na deep-fried. And deep-fried food are actually producing acrylamide, trans fat.
Trans fat.
And yung acrylamide is carcinogenic. And it also produces acute glycated end product, which is AGE, nag-age sa cells. Kung nag-age sa cells, syempre, age din yung immune system, age din yung lahat na system. That is why yung ultra-processed food is really a big deal. If you are in a circumstance na you can choose, we want to choose the better option, like fresh vegetables, like real food, whole food, plant-based. Pero kung let's say for example, may famine, pag wala na talaga tayo delivery ng gulay, paano? Like in Baguio, lumanta yung gulay dahil masyadong mahal yung transport, di ba? So pag nawala or there is flood, there is earthquake, kakain ka talaga ng sardines, kakain ka talaga ng dilata, ng noodles. Pero while we still have that options, we choose healthy food.
Yes. Actually, Dok, isa din yan sa mga yung nabubuhay sa Pancit Canton, no? Hindi po naman namin sinisiraan yung mga company ng Pancit Canton, but syempre moderation, di ba? Marami kasi tayo, Dok. Marami ako talagang kakilala, Dok, na yung Pancit Canton, yun yung breakfast, lunch, dinner. Tapos, Pancit Canton, sakit pa yan natin, ang Pancit Canton may rice. Ano ba to
Pancit
siya?
Canton sa loob ng bread.
O, sa bread. So, I hope lang yung mga nanonood sa atin na we are giving you wisdom. Wisdom naman po ang mga pinag-uusapan natin dito, and I hope na marami kayong matutunan sa mga sinasabi ni Doc. And, Doc, ano lang ito, meron kasi tayong mga katanungan din related na yung pinag-uusapan natin, Doc, about non-communicable diseases, Doc. Ang sabi nila, ang cancer daw, communicable diseases, nakakahawa. paliwanag mo nga sa atin, Dok, para ma-educate yun ang ating mga viewers about this.
You see, there are certain type of cancer like breast cancer. Sugat. Naging sugat siya. Dahil hindi siya naoperahan, naging sugat. So, some people think na mahahawa. Diba? Or sometimes, cancer is muscle. Tapos malaki siya. No? Like, meron tayong rhabdomyosarcoma sa leg muscle. Malaki. So, akala nila mahahawa din. So, that is why misconception yun that cancer is communicable. Actually, it is considered a non-communicable disease.
Ganda ng wisdom from Doc, no? Kasi marami din tayo talagang pasyente na sinasabi, kasi nalapitan ako nung may cancer, magkatira kami sa bahay, isang bahay lang kami, kaya nagka-cancer, kaya ako nagka-breast cancer. Parang saan nagagaling yung na yun, yung idea na yun, na ganun. So, thank you for clearing that, Doc, no, na ang cancer is considered non-communicable diseases. Hindi siya makakahawa.
However, let me just emphasize also that some people with cancer, they are on chemotherapy. It made them vulnerable to certain infection like tuberculosis. So, yung tuberculosis, makakahawa yun. If let's say, for example, decrease yung immune system nila, nag-sepsis sila, nag-septic shock, yung sepsis, because it's an infection, makakahawa din yun. Pero, cancer per se is non-communicable.
Okay. O siyempre, Dok, bacteria, no? Kaya nga minsan, isolation sa bahay, no? Na yung may pneumonia or may ganitong sakit, viral or bacterial, parang i-isolate muna natin para hindi mahawa. Especially, Dok, na ating mga cancer patient, yun nga yung mga may sakit na kailangan talaga nila ng support ng family, Dok, no? So, huwag tayong matakot kasi there are patients na to sa Ozone Med, Doc, na abi ng pamilya na may cancer, mahawaan sila. So, yung parang naitabi na lang yung may sakit, Doc, yung parang nakahiwalay na lang ng room. With that, Doc, na hindi naman siya communicable na disease ang cancer, the more na need natin na suportahan yung mga may cancer patients. Tama po ba, Doc?
Some cancer patients, however, are put on reverse isolation. When we say reverse isolation, hindi sila pina-allow na many visitors because of the fear that the visitors will bring infection to the patient.
Yun pala yun.
Isolation.
Kaya pala minsan may mga hospitals o may mga cancer patient na bawal magbisita. Kasi marami din tayong pasyente, Doc, no, na nakilala or mga kakilala natin personally na hindi naman talaga sila namatay sa cancer. Yung parang lang, nagka-pneumonia lang, tapos yun na, nagtuloy-tuloy na. Yung complication din pwedeng nakapatay sa pasyente natin. But Doc, ito naman, genetics versus lifestyle. Ang ganda ng sinabi dito, Doc, meron kang line na binigay si Doc. Genetics loads the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger. Ibig ba sabihin nito, Doc, kahit may genes tayo, lifestyle pa rin ba ang deciding factor nito?
Ito, malaki ito. Kasi it doesn't mean to say high blood yung kanuno mo, may high blood ka din. May specific example, family history, because ang lolo ko, buta. He is blind. He was blind. He got amputated, both above the knee amputation and nagda-dialysis because of uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension. And his last few years was really suffering talaga siya. Tapos yung mother ko, she also had hypertension and diabetes. So, sa loob-loob ko, when I was younger, I thought I will really inherit those diseases. And true enough, when I did not take care of my health, I became pre-diabetic. I was started on metformin. However, by the grace of God, nabuksan yung mind ko na there are ways to become healthy by changing lifestyle.
Yes.
And kaya ngayon, at age 60, I do not have any maintenance medication.
Ang galing. Kasi healthy lifestyle din talaga, Doc, no? So, ikaw mismo nag-control. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng, dahil huwag naman tayong gaya-gaya. Lolo ko may high blood na rin ako. Minsan ni-generalize na ako, high blood na kasi kaliwat nila na high blood, di ba? Ako, I believe, no, biblically, no, na there's no generational curse. Kung ano yung sakit nung isa, nung kaninununuan, lahat ng family mo mamamatay sa ganitong sakit. May choice tayo. Yung choice natin is to stay healthy And kung pwede nga, no, as tayo as family, no, we help each other na pigilan yan. Hindi ba, tulad nung sa'yo, Dok, kung hindi mo kinontrol yan, yung posible din yung sa lahat ng makamag-anak mo, sabihin ako, si Doktora Pao, may ganito, kami din. Ang summary lang sa sinasabi ni Doc na kontrolado mo ang sakit mo, kontrolado mo ang health mo. Tama po, Doc?
Although nothing is certain in life. Like say for example, I had a healthy lifestyle, pero nadapa ako, na-accident, and I hurt my knee. Diba? So, there are things that are beyond your control. Accidents happen. So therefore, which comes to, aside sa food natin, kailangan din natin na mag-ingat. Ingat tayo sa food, ingat din tayo sa environment natin.
Correct. Pero Dok, malaking factor na healthy ka kasi minsan yung iba, mahina na yung immune system, tapos nadapa pa, mas lalong naging komplikado ang buhay.
So like my husband, before he was careless about his diet because he was single, palagi na lang restaurant food. Isang dapa lang sa basketball, na-fracture talaga yung forearm niya, na-operahan siya, may bakal na in-insert. Pero ngayon, dahil he is careful with what he eats, I prepare food for him, home-cooked meals, thanks be to God. Nagsusupplements din, nadapa siya I think 5 times, lahat walang fracture, and he's older.
Healthy yung bones.
While traveling or while in his chores, pero walang fracture, bruises lang. You still have to be careful.
Dito naman tayo, Dok, pag-uusapan natin yung ano ko nito curious ako tong topic na to, Dok. What is this tinatawag dito, polypharmacy, at bakit siya isa sa mga concerns ngayon?
Polypharmacy. Once I went to the drugstore, and then yung katabi ko, may senior. 2 pages yung gamot.
Dami.
Polypharmacy talaga. And then, there is a pill for every ill. So, kung baga, si Lola may high blood, hypertension na gamot. Tapos ngayon, hindi lang isa, 2 na or 3. Kasi may dictum na hindi na talaga gagana pag isa lang yung anti-hypertensive meds. And then, sumakit yung sikmura niya. So, binigyan pa siya ng pang-address ng side effect nito. And then, because na may diabetes pa siya, may 2 din siyang medication. Tapos dahil sa side effect, meron na naman another, no? So therefore, patong-patong na yung mga medication. Actually, there is no pill to every ill, but there is an ill following every pill. You know, uso-uso na ngayon yung mga sa mga gusto magpapayat.
Yes,
they
Dok.
uses this
Yung parang ini-inject.
GLP or in-inject. O famous na yun, Ozempic, Mounjaro, no? And it has its help, but it has also side effects. So they have a lot of mga litigation on the side effect. They have gastroparesis. Ibig sabihin, hindi na gumagalaw yung tiyan nila. And they also have pancreatitis. They have this thyroid cancer. So many things happening. Once na na-discover na nila na kulang yung safety effect, tatanggalin na naman yan. Remember, I think Orlistat was also an anti-obesity medication. It was taken off the shelf also. So, ganun talaga. It is a cycle. Merong drugs na i-introduce, tinitake ng mga tao, lumabas yung side effect, tapos gumulo na, and then may litigation, and then FDA look into it, and then tatanggalin. And then another medication, better daw, pero ganun din ang cycle.
Ito din, dagdag pa natin siguro dyan, Dok, no? Yung gluta naman, Dok, talagang, kasi ngayon kahit sino nagtuturok na ng gluta, Dok, ano ba to, Dok? Kailangan ba silang bantayan yung mga ganitong,
Glutathione, there is insufficient study to say that it can cause you, hindi siya approved by FDA for whitening, but it is approved for liver health. So kaya sa liver health, may mga studies yun, at yung FDA nagsabi na nga okay to for liver health. And glutathione is a very powerful antioxidant, no? sometimes sabihin natin detox, but actually God already made
Our
a
body.
detoxification organ, and that is our liver. And our liver is the one that detoxifies anything that we drink, anything that we eat. Pero kung weak yung liver, it needs some supplements, and glutathione is a good way of
Para maano yung sa health ng iyong
Sa
liver. But ang problema kasi, Dok, kahit ginagawa ng lahat, tinuturok na rin ng lahat na wala man lang professional guidance. Yun naman ang medyo issue natin dun, Dok, no, na tayo kasi sa clinic dito sa Ozone Med, we give that to our patient. Pero may guidance na ito lang yun, bakit mo kailangan ito. Alam mo yung
certain
mapaliwanag.
dosage. And then it should be given by people who knows how to give. They are trained and they have a license to insert IV. Mga nurses, meron na silang mga how to insert IV and to be sure that you are in the right place rather than kung sino lang magturok.
So, ayun, I hope na magiging tayo, no, prudent tayo sa mga ganyang sitwasyon. Kamo mga nagtanaw no nga di porket gluta, isag imong silingan na lang may mag-inject sa iyo.
And there are contraindications actually to glutathione.
What are those, Doc? Possible lang para lang may idea lang.
So that is why we screen them. Screen natin. May checklist tayo. We will know kung pwede ba siya sa gluta or
So hindi pala para sa lahat ng gluta, Doc?
Hindi para sa lahat. We need to be careful.
Kasi ang mindset kasi ng mga tao ngayon, especially na sa mundo na dapat maganda ka at yung face card mo ay maganda, magugluta ka para pumuti. Yun talaga yung main goal ngayon, no? So kahit sino na lang pwede. So hindi pala pwedeng kahit
Ang
sino
standard of beauty ngayon, if your complexion is white, pero sino ba nagsabi na dapat puti ka? O sino ba nagsabi na dapat ganito ka kapayat? Di ba nakikita natin sa mga celebrity, sobrang payat, skin and bones na lang, nakakatakot. Di ba? Parang mga tetanus ka dahil sa sobrang payat.
Kailangan pa rin talaga ng mga guidance sa mga doktor na tulad ninyo. So, even diet, Doc, no? Hindi ka naman basta-basta mag-diet, ay mag-intermittent fasting ako kung kailan. Alam mo yun, yung guidance talaga ng doctor or nutritionist, yung kailangan natin. This one. Doc, ito, napag-usapan naman natin yung polypharmacy. Delikado ba, Doc, ang maraming sobrang iniinom na gamot? Yung parang, yung sinasabi mo, nanganak yung gamot, na umiinom ka na lang ng 20 pills every day or more than that. Delikado ba yun, Doc?
Yes, unfortunately, unchecked or sometimes because the patient is seeing so many doctors. Meron siyang cardiologist, meron siyang endocrinologist, meron siyang internist, may pulmonologist siya, may neurologist pa, no? So kung minsan this doctor tatlo yung medications niya, ito naman tatlo naman, ito naman apat, ito naman 5. So ang dami-dami na. And you don't even know that they have this drug interaction. That is why it is important that you have an overall that is conscientious enough to see that all your medication hindi siya nagko-kontra or nagka-cancel out.
Okay.
So as I was saying that supplements is also good. However, there are certain supplements that bawal or it can increase the effect of certain medications. Like you are on blood thinner, tapos nagsinamon ka. Ang cinnamon may kumarin din. So, lalo ma-increase yung anti-clotting effect ng gamot mo. So, therefore, we need to really be very conscientious about giving medications, even antibiotics.
Kasi naging dependent na rin tayo sa drugs, Doc, no? Sa mga iniinom natin. Konting kirot, inom na ng gamot.
Kung minsan, sakit ng ulo, kuha ako ng ice. Lagyan mo ng ice mo. Sarili ka lang mag-massage. Or it means that you stop doing what you are doing and go to bed. Baka kulang ka ng tulong.
Oo, masakit lang yung mata mo kasi babad ka sa computer.
No? So, ganyan. You don't immediately resort to painkiller.
Kasi your body naman yun, sinabi mo kanina, Doc, meron ginawa ni Lord na meron tayong self-healing, di ba? Yung self-detoxification system ng katawan. So, sometimes kailangan mo lang talaga din ipahinga, Doc, no? Di mo naman lahat ng bagay na masakit, may karapatang gamot. We are talking about this polypharmacy and medyo na tayo, no? Palalim na ng palalim. Sa ngayon, magbe-break muna tayo and pagbabalik natin, Dr. Ra will explain about lifestyle medicine at meron din siyang i-share sa atin na 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. So, yun doon ang discuss natin, Doc. So, pag-usapan natin yan sa ating pagbabalik. So, stay tuned. Diyan lang po kayo, magbabalik kami.
Napakaganda nun, hindi po ba? Maraming salamat po Kuya Juray and Doc Pao. Dami po naming naintindihan at natutunan na naman dito sa part 2 ng ating episode. At ngayon, bago po tayo bumalik sa ating topic, gusto naming ibahagi sa inyo ang isang bagay na siguradong magpapalakas ng inyong loob. Kasi sa New Start, we believe na ang pinakamalakas na patunay ng healing ay ang boses ng mga taong nakakaranas nito mismo. Kaya ngayon, maririnig po natin ang isang healing testimony. Isang tunay na kwento mula sa isang taong katulad ninyo na nakahanap ng pag-asa at kagalingan sa pamamagitan ng Ozone Med. Panoorin po natin ito.
Felt that this is cancer already. Dili na normal lang ako ang life sa akong ipamati. Kung di ka magpakay mo, mamatay ka rin. My name is Marina Bastida Villaver. I am 50 years old and I was diagnosed breast cancer stage 3B. Going back on May 2025, na ako'y pamati na permi siya nagnam ang ako ang left side. I went to my OB-GYN for check-up. So I have to undergo a breast ultrasound. The doctor who nag-undergo sa akong breast ultrasound advised me asa to see my surgeon. So I went to the surgeon and then he decided to have a operation. So I was not decided at that time, especially the word of biopsy. At first, wala dyan ko naka-decide to go with the biopsy and to proceed what the surgeon told me. So I searched on the Facebook, what is the second option? So I felt that this is cancer already. So I searched on Facebook, I saw on the Ozone Med na mga sharing of their stories also. I messaged to the Ozone Med Cebu. So when I was up, I have an appointment there. So nag-visit ko with Ma'am Berna and then dala-dala na ako ang mga lab results. And then I met with Dr. MI. They explained to me on how ozone is and then paano siya maka-help po on my side. So I decided to have my first session here last May 2025. Before ko nag-decide nga magpa-ozone, I cannot sleep because of the pain. So many instances na naka-feel ko nga dili na normal lang ako ang life sa akong ipamati. When I started here last May 2025, I did twice a week for my session and then after 3 weeks, I felt na makatug na ko siya normal and then I felt na ang sakit dire sa akong na-feel sa ako ang left side nag-minimize na siya, dili na siya everyday. Orat ako na-felt nga in 1 month time, naka-help gid siya nga ma-at-ease ako ang pagkatulog. After my 2 cycles, Dr. MI said that I have to undergo a laboratory. And then when I got the result on last September 5 of my CE level, so there is a still active. That's why Dr. MI told me that I have to decide to undergo surgery. So I decided that I have my surgery last October 2025 and then that's the bad result that I had after my surgery because my oncologist said that I diagnosed a stage 3B breast cancer. When I get back here, I talked with Dr. MI about it. I told him also that I am willing to talk with Dr. Rayo online for second opinion. We talk online with Dr. Rayo and then on my side, I talked with doctor that I don't want to have the chemo. And then Dr. Rayo said that I will let you to have double session for thrice a week. And then I did from October to December. December 12, I did my last laboratory. It was a
God's grace that all my CA level are normal. I am very thankful to God that the Ozone Med is the way of my healing process. That's why I am very happy that I came here.
To those na naigipamati with any illness, you try to visit Ozone Med Cebu. It really helps us, especially a cancer patient, and then it helps also to improve our health. Ozone Med is really great help because for me, with the help of God's grace, this is a very amazing healing process to me right now because all the cancer level laboratory exam are already normal. Well, I'm happy to be here because they are very hospitable to me and the rest of the patients. In fact, I used to have my trial session every week here. So I felt so blessed because all of the staff from the doctors down to the nurses and the office staff, they're very nice, especially after the treatment. I'm happy because they extend some prayers for me. So I felt amazed and it helps me na gaan akong pamati. In booking appointments, there is no problem because once I have my schedule, everything is well and ma-serve good ang schedule. So there is no problem with it. Actually, I have experienced 3 weeks ago that I met some oncology because I have a friend from Manila. She visited here. So we meet up and then kasama niya si doctor, oncology. Doc, I was diagnosed breast cancer stage 3. Tapos sabi niya, anong sabi ng onco mo? Sabi niya, Doc, mag-chemo. Tapos tingnan ko yung surgical pathology mo. Sabi niya, yung mga result daw, parang hindi maganda pagkasulat kung ano talaga siya. Hindi. Sabi lang ng oncology ko, Doc, I am stage 3B. Kaya sabi niya, mag-chemo kami, radiation. Tapos sinabihan niya ako, Doc, kung hindi ka magpa-chemo, mamatay ka rin. Tapos anong ginawa mo? Na stage 3 ka pala. Kailangan man yun chemo. Doc, I went to ozone therapy. So ano yun? Sabi niya, ozone therapy, Doc. Ano nangyari ko? From October, Doc, down to December, all my cancer level are normal. So, really? Anong ginawa? Yun lang, Doc. Tapos, meron akong air sufflation, meron akong rectal. Basta yun, Doc, nag-normal lang. God's grace daw, parang it's a miracle na nakapunta ka doon kung ano man yun. Kasi hindi ko kabisado pa, ganyan. Ang sabi pa kasi sa kanya, meron ba yung drugs sa Manila? Sabi ko, meron. Tapos ikwento ko rin sa kanya na yung may-ari, Doc, doon ako na-inspired sa kanya dahil nagka-breast cancer din siya. Kaya I'm happy, Doc, na hindi ako natuloy sa chemo. Siya, advice ko lang sa iyo dahil oncology naman ako. Basta lahat ng pagkain na bawal, yun lang, sundin mo lang. Tapos may mga med ba daw na nire-resita dito sa Ozone Med. Meron mga vitamins lang siya, Doc. Yun lang. Basta sa akin lang, decision man yun na hindi ka nagpa-chemo, pero talagang amazing na nagkaroon ka ng miracle. Sa tingin niya sa akin, talaga bang nagkasakit ako? To all the people out there who are suffering, try to visit here and Ozone Med Cebu. For me, it's one thing that Ozone Med can also repair our immune system. Great help to us.
Sa New Start, ang Ozone Med Health and Wellness Talk. Part 2 na po at dito mas magiging specific po sila Doc Pao. So pakinggan po natin ng mabuti dahil ang impormasyong ito ay para sa inyong kalusugan at sa inyong mga mahal sa buhay. Ibalik natin si Kuya Juray kasama si Doc Pao para sa ikalawang bahagi ng ating topic. Doc Pao and Kuya Juray, the floor is yours.
And we are back. Pinag-uusapan natin ngayon ang global health or globalization. So, dami na nato. This is our part 2, last episode. Ato na ning nahisgutan karon atong ipadayon ng atong giistoryaan. Ganiha gi-mention ni Doc no, pinag-istoryaan na mo ang about non-communicable diseases, ano yung mga polypharmacy, ito yung mga gamot na nagpatong-patong na iniinom natin. But now, we will be discussing about lifestyle medicine. Siyempre, di na pwede mag-istorya ta kung dili mismo galing or gikan sa isang expert. Of course, ang kauban nako si Dr. Pau, which is a lifestyle medicine advocate. So, Doc, mabilisan ito. Mabilisan, parang ano lang to, no? Kasi ito talagang inaabangan ng mga tao, Doc. What is this lifestyle medicine? Ano ba ito? Paliwanag mo sa amin, Doc.
Lifestyle medicine is the evidence-based therapeutic approach to prevent, treat, reverse lifestyle-related diseases using comprehensive lifestyle intervention. And what are these interventions? It includes nutrition, physical activities, stress management, sleep, health, social relationship, and of course, the avoidance of risky substances.
Inisa-isa ni Doc yun. Ngayon, isa-isahin pa rin natin yan. So, let's go through this tinasawag ni Doc na six pillars of lifestyle medicine. So, Doc, what is the ideal way of eating? Nutrition yung number one na pillar, Doc.
Number one, of course, yung food, yung nutrition. And usually, ang in-advise namin is healthy eating. That means whole food and plant-based. Sa mga tao, kung minsan sabihin nila plant-based, puro lang mga gulay, plant-based doesn't mean vegetarian. It means you can have meat, you can have fish. However, yung 2/3 is plant. Depende din kung ano yung case-to-case basis. Kasi kung minsan we are already having patient with cancer, so pag sinabi natin na plant-based, that means plant na talaga. Wala na talagang mga meat, wala na talagang mga fish, mga poultry. And of course, yung sinasabi natin plant-based, it doesn't mean tofu because these are ultra-processed food. Hindi din sinasabi na mga sugar-free or mga gluten, chick meat, veggie meat. So akala nila veggie meat, magic meat, they are really ultra-processed food. So therefore, yung whole food talaga, totoo na food. Kaya we go to, sinasabi natin na may minimally processed. That means na you just slice, you just wash, slice them, peel them, gawa ka ng salad, walang dinagdagan, walang binawasan. That's minimally processed. However, when we say moderately processed, ito naman yung mga food na niluto. Pero hindi natin dagdagan ng magic syrup, hindi natin dagdagan ng mga Knorr cubes, no? Ang gawin natin is salt, pepper, herbs, and spices. And we should aim for really having a balance of carbs, protein, and fats. Because the grow food, and the glow food.
Nakalimutan na yan, Doc. Naituro ngayon. Ako, elementary ako, go, grow, and glow.
Oo. Kasi, alam mo, when we reach a certain age, like tumatanda na tayo, hindi na tayo ganun ka-active yung lifestyle. Medyo sedentary na. You don't need that much go food. Kaya, hindi na tayo na maraming carbs. And actually, there are good and bad carbs, good and bad protein, and good and bad fats.
Ano ba yun, Doc? Paliwanag mo nga sa akin yan para maaral ko.
Ang super na bad carbs are the refined carbs. Then that means, ang sneaky is the starch. So let's say, for example, kumain ka nga ng chop suey. Sabi mo, gulay yan. May starch, may carbs dyan. And starch is also ultra-processed. And also, ito, sugar-free naman to. Pero yung kapalit is actually maltodextrin. And it is a sugar substitute. Or there are also stevia or erythritol. Sabihin ng body, kinikrave ko yung sugar, pero bakit hindi naman to sugar ang pumapasok? Kaya, lalo yung cravings. And then, nag-dysbiosis. The good and bad bacteria are deranged.
Mention ka about ito, Doc. Whole food and plant-based diet. Ano po ang ibig sabihin nito, Doc?
Yung whole food, totoo talaga na pagkain. So, kung what you see is what you get. Let's say, for example, real na vegetables, real na fruits. Whole food talaga yun. So, ang plant-based, sabi ko na yun, hindi siya totally vegetarian unless sa certain instances na meron na talagang challenge sa health mo. Kaya, the diet that we prescribe in Ozone, hindi siya de kahon. This is really tailored for that person. Yung
Nakatemplate
diet
siya po
nila.
sa isang person.
Sa isang person.
Hindi siya copy-paste lang, Dok, na kung parehong
Hindi.
reseta mo, ganun.
So, nakwento na din natin yung moderately processed. Yung ultra-processed talaga, yun ang should be the exception rather than the rule. Ang rule natin, ang daily habits natin, should be the whole food, minimally processed, and moderately. Yung ultra, paminsan-minsan lang.
Paano tayo maka-identify ng mga ultra-processed to?
Anything that has coloring, flavoring, preservative, anything matagal, masira. The longer the expiry, the more processed it is. And of course, malayo na siya sa original na anyo. As I was saying, di ba, carbs, sinabi na natin yung carbs. Hindi natin natuloy yung protein.
Yung protein pala, Dok, opo.
They are the building blocks. So kung minsan, sinabi mo pansit, tapos may kwan pa.
May
rice pa. Pansit, tsaka may tinapay, no? Dapat may protein because these are the building blocks. Like hollow blocks will build. Ito naman, amino acid, and it is good for our muscles. So, nag-atrophy habang tumatanda tayo, nag-atrophy. Pero when adequate yung muscle protein intake natin. So, that is your fish, your meat, your eggs.
Basta galing sa ano, Dok, yung fresh, yung alam mong totoo.
Plant. Oo.
Lagi nga sinasabi ng anak ko, Dok, no, if it is not produced by nature, you should not take it.
Oo, di ba? Ang smart
So, tama po yun, Dok, no?
Yes.
Minsan, ma-realize ko rin na kahit na-produce din ng nature, ito nilalagay na rin sa lata. Tapos sumabo na, nakikita mo yung manufacturing date, ay yung expiry date. So, parang 2 years na sa lata pag tayo nga. Di ba? And isa din yun sa mga ano ko doon, no, question, Dok. Yung mga instant drinks ngayon, Dok, gaano ba ito ka-harmful?
Harmful. As in, so you know, one time I was saying that hindi ako mag-soft drinks. And then so I went to SNR trying to look for an alternative and I saw the ginger ale. Sabi ko, ginger ale, ginger ale. Nung binasa ko with my glasses, ang sugar content niya doble pa sa soda.
Okay, Dok. Kasi may inom din ako
So,
na ganun.
katakot. So as I say, there are good and bad na protein. And ang bad mga protein, on the way that you cook, let's say barbecue or chicken inasal, no? And charred yun or deep fried, trans fat yun. So you convert your protein into something that is unhealthy. Kailangan din natin yung fats for brain health. So ang unhealthy are your seed oil, your margarine. Ang good fat, your coconut oil, olive oil. But some people, they fry olive oil, which is a big no-no. Because olive oil cannot stand 180 degrees. Pero ang yung coconut, organic talaga yun. Diba?
Especially sa Philippines, marami tayong coconut doon.
So, it has been maligned by Westerners because they have vested interest in promoting their canola oil.
So, napag-usapan natin yung first pillar natin, nutrition. Ang daming naituro si Doc sa atin. Move on naman tayo sa tinatawag nating physical activities. Ano po ito, Doc? Gaano ba kadaming exercise ang kailangan?
Moderate intensity exercise, 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. However, you know, some people, you just stay active the entire day. You don't need a gym membership. Pero you keep busy along the day. You do your chores, you do gardening, and those activity already makes you move.
Exercise na rin siya.
Pero ang strength training, you really need to. Maski passive strength training lang. 2 to 3 times a week, and that is to support your core muscles. So, stay active throughout the day, and because your exercise will bring out your happy hormones.
Endorphins.
The endorphins, happy hormones.
Yeah. Doc, meron din question na ang naririnig ko na to, Doc. Sitting is the new smoking. Totoo po ba yun? Bakit po gano'n yung explanation, Doc?
Because sedentary lifestyle. Di ba yung mga young people dati, pwede pa natin, sige, pasyal tayo.
Carpentero tayo. Patentero tayo.
Patentero tayo. Pero ngayon, or basketball tayo, pero ngayon, nasa loob lang ng kwarto. So, that's why sitting is the new. And
Smoking.
yung mga assignments nila, online na.
So, yung physical activity, napaka-importante, Doc. Dito sa clinic natin, tinuturo talaga natin yung exercise, Doc, no? Kasama ng ating New Start. Ngayon, Doc, pag-usapan naman natin yung pillar number 3, ang stress management. Hindi daw stress ang killer ng tao, Doc, but our reaction sa stress.
Yes, stress doesn't kill us. It's our reaction to stress. As I always say, we live in a fallen world. So kaya, God did not promise us na stress-free ang buhay natin. Kung minsan, may stress ka sa family, may stress ka sa school, sa workplace. So how do we deal with it? There are many ways to deal with it. One is to always have a quiet time with the Lord. Just be quiet, sit in a corner, read a line or two. Kung minsan sa akin, while I'm driving, mag-audio ako ng Bible, or while I'm cooking or washing the dishes. And we can also have mini breaks. So, ibig sabihin, pag trabaho ka ng trabaho, in between, meron kang mini breaks. Again, the centenarians, they have this principle called Shinrin-yoku, which is forest bathing. So, pupunta sila ng forest, and then they will hug the tree, they will inhale, and sometimes they will be grounding also, like walking on the ground. Paa ka lang. Barefoot. And one thing to relieve stress is by breathing. So there are many breathing techniques. So kung minsan sabihin ko, ang breathing technique, 3-4-5. Inhale ka ng 3 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. And exhale for 5 seconds through your mouth. So 3, hold your breath, 4 seconds. And exhale through your mouth, 5 seconds. So kung minsan, kung nahihiga ka, soft belly naman. Ano naman ang soft belly? Soft, inhale ka, belly, exhale ka. Makikita mo yung belly mo nang move. So soft belly naman yon. And another thing, usong-uso ngayon is your vagal stimulation. Have you heard about vagal stimulation?
Ano po yung, Doc?
The vagus nerve is the biggest cranial nerve in the body. Ito yung biggest nerve. And it controls your blood pressure, your heart rate. So when you stimulate it, nagde-decrease yung heart rate mo, yung blood pressure mo, and magre-relax ka. Yung fight and flight mo ay medyo na-downtime siya. So how do you do vagus nerve stimulation?
Sige, Doc.
When you wake up in the morning, di ba, pupunta ka ng CR, tapos magbabrush ka ng teeth. The gargling motion is itself stimulating your vagus. So you gargle, exaggerated na gargle. So mag-gargle ka. Okay. So that's one vagus nerve stimulation. The second one is while you're taking a shower. Mag-shower ka ng shampoo. You sing at the top of your voice. Another is by immersing your face in ice cold water. Manghinamos ka. And this is vagal maneuver. You see, as a cardiologist, sometimes we have patients who have supraventricular tachycardia. Sobrang bilis yung heartbeat, 200 beats per minute. One of the vagus nerve stimulation is to immerse the face in ice cold water. So may mga ice yan. It will decrease your heart rate. And of course, kung minsan meron tayong magkapa dito, i-press natin, but not both. Kasi baka mag-stop yung heart, no? So, press mo or massage. But yung mga relaxation technique, there are so many things that you can do. You can communicate, you can be with friends. Kung minsan nga, sabi namin, nag-meet kami ng friends namin, nag-party kami, kumain kami. Ay, sabi namin, yung cortisol level namin bumaba. Kasi yung stress hormones bumaba. Kaso naman, yung insulin namin umakyat kasi dami namin kinain. So, yun. Pero there are so many stress
management
buster.
Buster natin.
So, yun. Those are just some of the suggestions that I'm giving to our audience.
Dito naman tayo, Doc, sa gaano ba ka-importante ang tamang tulog? All capital talaga to sa akin, tamang tulog. Kasi yung iba tulog lang, pero hindi mo naman alam kung tamang tulog yun. Gaano ka-importante ito, Doc?
Sleep should be restful. Enough sleep will influence your health. There are actually health impacts when you lose sleep. For one, pwede na maging obese. Pwede sa children and adults. And they will be prone to diabetes and insulin resistance. Also, heart disease and hypertension, depression and anxiety. When we lose sleep, you see there are hormones in our brain. Ang kuwan natin, leptin and ghrelin. So leptin is the satiety hormone, ghrelin is the hunger hormone. Pag kulang sa tulog, umaakyat yung ghrelin. That means the hunger hormone
Kaya pala
lalo.
pag kulang ka sa tulog, Dok, masarap kumain.
Kakain ka ng kain. Tapos, yung leptin bumaba. So that's why when you have adequate sleep, mas okay. And also, you become very
Agitated.
bugnutin pag
Agitated.
kulang ka sa tulog.
Oo.
And
Totoo
why is
yun, Dok.
that? Kasi yung small brain, which is in charge of emotion, lumalaki. Yung cerebral, which is the executive function na part ng brain, lumiliit. Kaya hindi ka maka-analyze, hindi ka maka-make good decision. Ang judgment mo is subpar, no? So that is why when we are going to take board exam, huwag kang pupuyat. Tutulog ka na talaga para the next day you can really be very good yung sleep mo.
Hindi ka talaga makapag-isip ng tama, Dok, pag kulang ka sa tulog.
And the critical period is between 10 to 2. Those are the time na nag-detox yung katawan natin. And kung hindi yan na-detox, accumulate yung mga toxins sa katawan natin. So sleep is very important. It is free, but it is usually underestimated, underutilized.
Napag-usapan natin yung tamang tulog at dito naman tayo sa pillar number 5, yung relationship at yung spirituality natin, yung spiritual life natin. Dok, how this relationship affect our health, Dok?
You know, people, humans, are created beings and we are intended to connect. First, to connect with the Lord and then to connect with people. So in Matthew 22, 37 to 39, Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And this is the first and greatest commandment. And the next commandment is love your neighbor as yourselves." So who are your neighbors? Your neighbors are yung people around you, at your work, or the people that you come in contact with, your loved ones sa family, and we are intended to connect. So kaya during lockdowns, we do not have church na face-to-face. Iba talaga, no? We did not worship. And the bad thing is, after the pandemic, people just stopped going to church. And this is really bad.
And Dok, no, social connection is can improve healing. Yung talagang yung connected, nakakatulong ka sa healing, lalo na sa mga pasyente natin, no? Every time kinakausap mo sila.
They felt seen, they felt heard, they're not forgotten. Yung mga nurses natin, they often follow up our patients kung ano na,
Kumusta na sila? Okay, so ang dami-dami na, mahaba na yung usapan natin. Dito naman tayo, Doc, sa pillar number 6, yung avoid the risky substance. Ano ba yung mga common na harmful risky substance, Doc, na pinag-uusapan natin?
The glaring one is cigarette. If you haven't stopped, you should stop. If you haven't started, don't start. And of course, alcohol. According to WHO, there is no safe limits anymore for alcohol. So that is why very important. Kung minsan, sabihin natin, kuha lang to social drinking, but actually, it harms you already. It can harm your liver, it can harm your brain. Kung minsan sabihin natin, okay, I don't smoke, but I vape. Anyway, ang vape, kuha lang yun, hindi yun cancerous, pero that is a misconception, that is a myth that it is safe. It is as harmful. And in fact, there is what is known as popcorn lungs. Narinig na ba
Yes,
yung
Dok,
popcorn lungs? Kasi it dilates when you breathe in and then it doesn't go back. So may mga young people na they have difficulty of breathing and then pag x-ray, parang popcorn na talaga yung lung alveoli nila. And it is due to vaping.
Siyempre, chemical naman din po yung nilalagay doon.
Chemical din
No? Hindi
yan.
naman
And then-
posibleng tubig lang yun. So parang ini-inhale mo pa rin yung alcohol.
Yes, meron pa rin silang mga nicotine inside. Remember, ang cigarette contains more than 200, in fact, parang 400 na nga, na toxins. And iniihip yun. But not only that, so many things right now are considered toxins.
Toxic.
Including our cleaning products, including our facial na mga
May napahid sa mukha
chemicals.
natin.
Di ba? May mga 7 steps para maging glass
Glass skin.
skin, di ba? Pero puro yung mga chemicals. And so, we just keep our makeup to a minimum and only during certain occasions. So, kaya, everything that we put on our skin should be edible. Pero ano pa yung edible na nilagay natin? Dapat coconut lang nga, no? Pero sa ngayon, ang dami na. And of course, fragrances. Dati, every time that I travel and I have this opportunity to go to yung mga duty-free, ay pupunta talaga ako sa perfume na section. Bibili ako ng perfume kasi gusto ko, I smell like $1 million. No? Pero ngayon, I realized that those fragrance na hindi nasulat kung anong fragrance, they are actually chemicals. So they are endocrine disruptor. They disrupt your endocrine system. So kaya kung minsan, I seldom put perfume na. Seldom na talaga.
Maligo
Essential
ka lang
oil
talaga.
pwede. Maligo ka lang talaga. And even yung conditioner natin,
Yung deodorant sa buhok, no?
shampoo, antiperspirant. And speaking of antiperspirant, it is not physiological. You prevent your sweat from coming out, and sweat carries the toxins outside. So, kaya ang daming mga breast cancer dyan, no? And of course, what you're eating is causing you to
Yung sa amoy
exude
mo.
those smell. Even halitosis yung breath. Kaya nang napansin ko, when I was having ozone, nawala yung mga amoy sa katawan.
So dapat pala yung mga may amoy din kasama na sa ating mga roasters o
yes,
patients.
totoo yun.
Yung maraming amoy. Kasi lalo na ngayon, no, yung mga kabataan siguro din dahil sa maraming
What we
kinakain.
eat, Juan, parang it's
Lumalabas.
rotten.
So yun din pala, no, kahit anong kinakain mo, dapat din, lumalabas din yan sa
lumalabas
katawan
din
mo.
siya sa amoy natin.
And even sa poop, Dok, di ba? Lumalabas lalo sa poop natin. Kung
Yes.
makain ka ng ganitong pagkain, malalaman mo kung puro karne, malalaman mo rin yung amoy kasi nga, naka-base dun sa kinakain. Ayun, ang dami na mo nang tinuro sa amin, Dok, and I hope na mga nanonood sa atin ngayon, no, marami kayong natutunan kay Dok. And I'm sure na kamo din na mga nanginahanglan din ang aning informasyon, no. This topic, no, itong pinag-uusapan namin, dili lang to sa para sa among mga pasyente nga nagtan-aw karon or sa mga pasyente namin dito sa clinic, but this is for everyone. Mapabata man, matanda, may edad, may ngipin o wala, ito pong lahat na pinag-uusapan natin ay para sa lahat. At the bottom line of all of this, Doc, no, nagbo-boils down pa rin yung life purpose mo, tsaka yung spiritual life mo, yung journey mo with the Lord, no. Gaano ka-importante, Doc, as a doctor, just to wrap up na lang yung pinag-usapan natin, gaano ka-importante na healthy ang iyong spiritual life?
Yan. Because after all that we have said about health, about wealth, bottom line is, there is actually nothing new under the sun. Walang bago. What we are talking has been talked before.
Yes.
No? Pero when we keep on earning and we have a lot of reserve funds, or when we become health buff and may 6 packs ka na, pero what does it profit a man if he gain the whole world and loses his own soul? Yan ang sinabi ng Mark 8:36. And totoo yun. The most important thing, what is your goal in life? Our purpose in life is to glorify God.
Amen.
And that is our foremost purpose. And how do we glorify God? In the way that we think, the words that we speak, and our actions, we need to align it sa will ni Lord. And you know, it is very important to be at right with the Lord. And we're not here to change anybody's religion, because after all, this is about relationship sa Panginoon. We invite God to be our Lord, to be our Savior, to be our Master. Siya yung mag-guide sa atin. And He will give us the wisdom to live life. And He will be with us in our life's journey.
Yes, so this is also good opportunity for all of you, yung mga nagtanaw karon no, to receive Jesus in your life as your Lord and Savior. And just a short while, I hope na mapanood kayo at ito ay maisip din ninyo again. We are not giving you another doctrine or another religion. No, we are here to be a blessing to you, and to be more blessed is to be connected with the true vine. Thank you so much, Doc, for joining me. Ang dami kong natutunan, and I hope sa mga coming episodes, Doc, no, mas malawak pa yung pag-uusapan natin, and ang dami pa pong topic ni Doc na sinishare sa akin, no, yung mga topic na talagang inishare ng ating mga pasyente na gusto nilang malaman. So, marami pa tayo, kaya dapat ninyong abangan yung mga episodes natin at yung season na ito. And sa lahat ng mga nanonood sa atin, nakita ninyo, kanina since we start the show, no, nakita ninyo ang QR code nga ning gawas sa inyong mga TV screen. Palihog lang og scan ana nga QR code kay kamo makakuha og special privileges og discounts kung asa man mo puadto sa Ozone Med Cebu, Ozone Med Davao ug sa Ozone Med Bacolod City. So tandaan ninyo, health is your wealth. It's your greatest wealth talaga yung health natin. So start small, stay consistent, and choose wellness every day. Doc, would you like to invite everyone, Doc, di mga Ilonggo, mga kababayan natin dito sa Bacolod to come to our clinic?
Okay, so as usual, I would say that Ozone is not just for those who have illness. Para ito sa walang sakit, sa may sakit, at ayaw magkasakit, as the tagline goes. And check us out. There is always something for you here.
Ayan, so maraming salamat once again, Doc Pao, sa pag-join sa akin dito sa ating New Start. And kanyang tanan nga nagtanaw, daghang kayong salamat umang hinaot mi nga kitang tanan healthy, and we are looking forward to see you sa mga next pa natin na episode. God bless everyone.
Grabe ano, what an episode! Maraming salamat Doc Pao at Kuya Jure for sharing your knowledge and your heart with all of us today. At sa inyo pong mga nanonood, salamat po sa inyong oras at tiwala. Sana ay nakauwi po kayo ngayon na may bagong kaalaman, bagong pag-asa at bagong determinasyon na alagaan ang inyong kalusugan. Huwag po ninyong kalimutan i-follow kami sa social media at bisitahin niyo po ang pinakamalapit na Ozone Med branch sa inyo dahil ang hakbang tungo sa healing ay ang kumilos ngayon. This has been New Start, the Ozone Med Health and Wellness Talk Season 4. I'm Deb at ingatan ninyo ang inyong kalusugan kasi kayo ang pinakamalagang tao sa buhay ng inyong pamilya. Hanggang sa susunod po na episode, paalam at God bless.
Ozone Med Wellness Clinic New Start. Mapapanood every Saturday 8 to 9 a.m.
Og ang replay airing matag Miyerkules 1:00 hangtod 2:00 sa hapon. Dinhi lang sa
CCTN Channel 47.